Hello, good evening and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. I'm your host for this evening, AK, and tonight I am joined by Albert and the legend that is Bridgeman. Good evening, lads.
Good evening, guys. How are you to?
Good pal. Bridgeman.
Oh, big good evening to everybody. You two guys in particular, and of course the techie boys in the background. And can I just say this to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world? Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Ah, well, it makes a wee change to return for the weekend with a Rangers victory, Albert, in Bridge.
It's strange, isn't it? It's very strange.
Ah, you know,
Starting
two
off with a
weekends in
smile
a
on your
row.
face.
two weekends in a row, Bridge. We're going off our heat.
Exactly. Although, we don't say too much about it now. I'll let you carry on with your introduction.
No, not at all. Listen, Albert was on the show yesterday with Rob, and he said he's some of his piece, I'm sure he's got more to add to that tonight. No doubt, knowing Albert. So, Bridge, what was your thoughts, what you seen yesterday? Well, first and foremost, I'll give you the team, the changes for the midweek game against, who was it we played again? The Belgian mob, wasn't it? Genk. Cleaning it out, man. Right, anyway, our starting 11, Butland, Tav, Suter, Cornelius, Megoma, Raskin and Barron came in for Diamondi. Asgard, Gassama, Miovski came in for Chermiti and Antman came in for Moore. What did you think of that, Bridge, and how did you view the game?
Well, I think that the team he selected was a quite a good team, actually. For us, given our standards at the moment, the way they wanted to play, well, who knows? We don't really know what it was. We just knew there was supposed to be 4 at the back. If you want to clarify that with or compare that with how we actually played, then we had 2 at the back. For huge chunks of the game, and by the way, as I've said for all the weeks in this season and even last season, we're the slowest team in the league by a long one. We've got that young lad out in the left wing there, and he's holding us up. He's carrying us, and young Ant-Man quite a good game as well, I thought. But our midfield going forward, not too bad. The forwards going forward, not too bad, but no, we can't go through a life every game getting hammered at the back. We're so scared of each other and scared of the ball. When the free kicks and throw-ins or hot corners come into the box, dear, and we can't defend. Our midfield don't seem able to defend anything. They're beautiful passes going across out to the wings, and we've not got a fullback anywhere near the player, and vice versa. We've got marvellous passes straight onto people, and we could easily have been 2-0 down at times, That's the way I see it. I don't think the game, I thought I was delighted to come away with a win, and the tension was tremendous at the end. I could hardly watch it in reality, but no, we did well, and congratulations to them, and well played. But that's only for the last maybe 10 minutes of the game. The rest of it, I don't think we were that great. Don't get me wrong, we've been there. I don't know, the possession's probably, I don't know what it was. Let's say it was 70-30 to us, but with the possession that we had, we didn't do the greatest amount with. Whereas the possession that the opposition had, they did, and they caused absolute mayhem in our team, both through the midfield and free kicks and corners. Just mayhem. I thought our goalkeeper did quite well doing our rounds. And I have to say, hats off to were captain, scored one and missed the penalty. And I thought the goalkeeper was very lucky, but his foot was up, so the ball hit it. Seriously, but without Tav, and from an attacking perspective, we didn't look that great, other than the two wee wingers who were getting crowded out eventually. But our midfield contributed to me. They haven't contributed nothing from a shooting perspective. I'm expecting a lot more shots than that from our midfield, from the edge of the box type thing. But that never happened. So that's what I've got to say, what I thought of the game.
No bother, Bridge. It just shows you, Albert, how differently people can watch a game. I'll briefly just say how I seen it. I thought we actually started off, no particularly well. Butland did make an early save, but after that, I thought we pretty much dominated the first half. Scored, well, Miovski had a big miss. He should really be bursting the net there, but good goal with Tavanir. Magoma works well, or Gassama, sorry, works well in the left-hand side and puts a dangerous ball right across goal. Ant-Man does remarkably well to keep it in play and also bring it back into the danger zone. And you got to say, what an acrobatic finish for Tavanir. I thought it was a pretty good start to the game. We were well in control of the game at that point. Penalty. I think everybody a lot of the people missed it, the challenge on Raskin, and were more concerned about the challenge and Gassama and the edge of the box expecting a free kick there probably, but VR came in there and awarded a penalty, and quite rightly so when you see the jersey tug on Raskin, but unfortunately Tavanir missed the penalty, Albert.
I mean, that was the story of the game. I mean, I had my views yesterday on the game. I don't want to repeat it. But the story of the game is too many misses, mate. The game, we could have made the game look a very easy game for us if we start scoring goals, mate. Too many misses. Majowski should have put that one away. Tav should have scored the penalty. You're 3-0 up, you're in at half time. Then you just change your tactics slightly. Bring them on to you and then just hit them on the break and finish them off. Well, they're finished off at 3-0 really, but you know what I'm saying. Instead of that, you're getting into the last 10 minutes of the game. They've scored one each, and you're saying it's like the Hearts game, the Hearts game, the Motherwell game at the beginning of the season. I mean, how we let them back into the game, exact same thing, mate. We make it really, really difficult. Forget about tactics and what do you call it, Martin for the moment, and just look at the actual football here. As I say, we missed too many chances to make it an easy game for ourselves. I also think that we need to look at some individuals within the team as well. I mean, I don't think a lot of them had bad games or poor games, but I think there's one or two that really need to look at themselves. Azagard's one of them, and Majowski's another one. I don't know about you with the boy Majowski, but to me, he looks like he's towing a caravan. I remember him when he played with Aberdeen, and I might be imagining in this, but I thought he was a lot faster with Aberdeen. He seems to be hell of a slow at the moment, hell of a slow. Watch him trying to run away, on the ball trying to run away for a player. He can't do it. He just can't do it, man. He's no speed, he's nothing. I'm saying, well, are you one of these players that's got to get the ball in the area now and to be effective? Because you can't seem to get it outside the area and create a move or get away. Just get away from a player. I don't know what you think about that.
I think you've got a point there, Albert. Come to you, Bridge, on that end. I think the style, the formation, the tactics is actually killing all the space for Miovski to run into. I think that's the exact same with whoever our wingers is as well. Whether it be the fullbacks overlapping Gassama or Tavanir overlapping Ant-Man, or vice versa. When you're doing that, you're just making the middle of the park and the final third of the park just totally congested, and that's maybe contributing to the lack of service that's coming to Miovski and the lack of goal scoring opportunity as well, Bridge.
Well, I can't argue with people. People see things and expect things differently for perfectly good reasons. You know, I think what you said about Majowski is it's fair, partially fair, But I think the second part he says about what's happening tactically around about him, and that goes for the opposition, the way they play their tactics, and they're crowding our forwards out, we're crowding them out. But on our massive problem for us is we're not getting the ball up quite fast enough to the forwards for them to do anything, no matter what it is. Our ball is coming from the goalkeeper and it's going across and it's going across and then it's going across and it's going across, and we're thinking, what are we doing? So you end up with people like Suter thinking, I'm going to make a break here. I'll just run straight through that space, and he does. So he ends up 20, 25 yards, maybe 30 yards inside the opposition half, and he falls over the ball, or if somebody takes it off him, or anything like that. So then he's going to speed back, isn't he? He's going to be running up there like lightning to get it back into defence. No, it's not going to happen, and we look really stupid. So sometimes we get away with it, and other times we get punished by it. But that's, to me, that's some of the things that are happening. You've got a fabulous player out in the left wing and a really good player out in the right wing. And why we're not using them as that, why are we not pushing the ball to them, is continuously push the ball to them. That's Gazama, whatever his name is, Gasman I call him. He had that there right back on toast the whole first half. And then the next thing you know, in the second half, he's playing out in the right wing. I'm going, what on earth's going on? You know, I can't say too much more than that. Obviously, the team is coming on stage by stage. It seems to be coming on. And the thing is, we're looking for this connection with all the players to connect. And sometimes you saw it the way we could pass short passes, keep possession and so on and so forth. So we've ended up being quite good at that. And then until such times we try to go forward, and then we lose the ball, or we get beaten a tackle, or whatever, you know, and so on and so forth. And we fall asleep. Our players fall asleep. The opposition see big spaces. They push their forwards up, ready for this. And a long ball goes out, and before you know it, we're getting punished for pace. And that's the rest of the enemy, you know. But I do think our tactics really, really poor. Really poor from an attacking perspective. We need to do something. And yeah, sometimes you end up, we've got two left backs playing, and neither of the two of them get the ball, and you don't know what's going to happen next. You know, that's again. So sorry, guys, I'm moaning. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries, pal. No worries. Listen, we could have went in to maybe 3-0 up at half time, because Cornelius said a disalloyed goal. I know you had your version of events on what happened there, Albert. And there was one camera angle I seen where it looked it did happen in the arm, but there was another 2 or 3 camera angles where it was inconclusive, and we've been done with it, the inconclusive angles with the Shanklin decision. You know, it was you still had the same opinion, Albert? Do you still think it should have been allowed? Or
It looked dodgy to me anyway, like saying it hit his arm. I didn't think it did, honestly. I still think, I know they're saying that it was offside anyway. I'm not quite sure about that either. I've not watched it back right enough. I'm going to make a point of watching that back, because at the end of the day, they're all putting their hands up and saying, "Oh, it's a foul," and then they're saying, "Ah, well, I think he gave it for offside." Oh, I don't know. They looked at it. They looked at it for a handball. And I suppose that's why they disallowed it. But then it's it's offside. But right enough, we go through multiple stages when it's a VAR decision, don't we? It wasn't a handball. We need to give them to go, no, hold on a minute, is it offside? No, it's no offside. Oh, wait a minute, is there a foul involved? Oh, well, there was 25 minutes ago. Oh, well, that's it. We can't give you the goal. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it was the game, but I thought it was dubious to say the least. Just the way I looked at it. But at the end of the day, we should have been 3-0, mate. Clearly 3-0. Iosca's got to score, and Tab's got to score the penalty. So 3-0 wouldn't have flattered us.
Aye, I agree with you. Should we go into
that bit you
Can I on you go, Butch? Right.
It's just to say, I agree 100% with what Albert says there. In my opinion, I didn't see the ball hitting the arm at all. Not for me. I just didn't see it. I saw it hitting him, and in the front, and coming down even to the lower part of his belly type thing. I seen the ball going there. but I never see it hitting an arm. And to say there was any offside, how the hell can you tell an offside in there? You need to stop and let our guys do the VAR, which will take us, as you said, 45 minutes to do a VAR read for an offside. There's that many players in there, so it's really difficult. And I didn't see an offside. To me, it was a goal, and it should have stood. And there's a number of decisions that were going on there. And I think, from my memory now, and my memory is no great now, but I think that the referee was cheating, beaten. So I'll say no more on that. Some of the decisions that were put on that part.
Refs.
Sorry?
Don't you get yourself upset and refs?
No, all I'm saying is you try to give credit where it's due. And I think his decision to give us a penalty was a good decision. And thank goodness that the VAR came out and made the decision that way, because he wasn't giving us it. As you know, he wasn't giving it. So we got it, and I'm delighted for that. And unfortunately for us, Tav didn't score. Actually, I thought the goalkeeper did well. His head and shoulders were away, miles away, but his big foot stuck it up and managed to get the ball. Obviously, we're saying as you watch that, Tav's going to put it and put it in the top right-hand corner or something like that, you know. No, yeah, you know. So there you go. And you're right. There's Miofsky missed an absolute 100% sitter, 100%. So we can't say too much. Only ourselves to blame. But is that down to our tactics? Yes, 100% down to our tactics. We don't have these midfielders, the magic players. We don't have it. We just don't have someone who can take the ball, take the game with the scruff of the neck, and let's go and dominate it and tell the players, you move out of the area, and then the ball comes to them. You know, magically the ball comes to them, and it makes things look brilliant. We try a 30-yard, 40-yard pass, and it goes out the park, but it goes to one of their players. Never goes near, by the look of it, any of our players possibly. You know, these are the things that happen, and it's so frustrating to me. So frustrating, because if you've played football, particularly from a defensive perspective, and you're watching your team playing, and you're watching their backs, and you can see the whole pitch, you can see all the players and what the positions are, and you can see your own player making a pass, and what happens. Even where goalkeepers kicking the ball out, straight out the park. Why? Why is he doing that? Sorry.
Right, we'll go into the second half now, Bridge. You take a wee breather there. Okay. Albert, we lost a silly goal. Big Mo Salah, Sila guy for Dundee, I believe. You see that goal back, we're sleeping in defence. See for that throw in, initially there's only one guy that goes out there, so he's outnumbered right away, isn't he? And we allow the ball to come into the danger area. I had a look back at the goal. We had 8 defenders in that penalty area to cover him, and none of them get near challenging. It was a silly goal to lose, but it was self-inflicted. Albert.
It's not a silly goal to lose, mate. It's your usual goal we lose. It's one of the usuals. There's about 3 or 4 different types of goals that we lose all the time, and that's just one of them. But if you look at it, the first of all, the left back guy, it's Magoma. He's out there, and he's got 2 guys, right? And you're sitting saying, if they dare to short the corner, he needs to try and close it down. If he goes to the guys getting the ball and looks back to the guys to the corner, it's simple, mate. We've seen it 1,000 million times before. But I'm angry at Magoma for those turning and shouting and roaring at somebody to get out here. But again, it might be tactics, it might be training. No, we don't need somebody out there, so you do what you do, try and cover the 2 of these guys. But the guy's got all the time in the world to pick across it, and he picks across it. But again, the big lump of wood that he is caught under the ball again. And many times you've seen this guy getting caught under the ball. It's supposed to be a centre half. He didn't a ball is supposed to be his forte. It's supposed to be what you're supposed to be good at, and he keeps getting caught under the ball. Does he know he can take a step or a couple of steps back the way when the ball's in the air? He just stands still and the ball goes over his head. Then Tab does it as well. Never that one, but he's not to do with Tab. But Tab gets caught under the ball as well. So, from a coaching point of view, it's poor. It's poor. That's a very poor goal to lose. But we continue losing it. I think it's done I don't know, many times I've watched it. You've watched it yourself. Dundee game, the pretty thing all the different games, sort of the Bruges game as well. Just goals like that. It's just all last season as well. Watching the same. I mean, I've been watching it now for five or 6 years, the same as you. I've been watching losing that goal. But there you go. The guy's got all the room in the world, man. Poor play. We're sleeping in the whole second half, actually.
Is there any lay of blame you could actually lay at Butland for no coming for that bridge? Or is it a defence and just... For me, they looked sleeping. They weren't picking up. They didn't recognise the danger by only leaving one player out for a throw-in, and it was unthreatened. That's just, you cut the ball out at source. You don't let it come in, and you've got spare bodies in that box, Bridge, to go and react to it, and they didn't. But for me, that's kind of in the area easily where a 6'5" goalkeeper should come out there and at least challenging, because 9 times out of 10, if he gets a foul, that goal gets chopped off regardless.
But if he comes out,
100% agree with you there.
If he comes out, he's got to flatten Butland. Butland's got to flatten Suter. If he comes out, Suter should be dealing with it. So Butland's standing there saying, he'll deal with it. He will deal it. Aye, but he's not going to come out and flatten his own player. No, I mean, he's sitting going, he's dealing with it, and he doesn't deal with it. So if you're now going to say Butland should be coming out, well, then you work on that in training and say, look, that ball gets into that area, I'm coming, and if you're there, I'm going to clear you out. But the fact of the matter is that's not what's been said at training. So they're all waiting for Suter, who should have dealt with it. It's a bread and butter clearance, bread and butter. It isn't.
Listen, I agree with you, but nobody's taking responsibility. Just go out and clear it, Bridgeman.
Yeah, can I just say, the tallest man in the park was their big centre half, and that's the guy that scored the goal. Is that correct?
Mo Salah, yeah.
Mo Salah, that's what I mean, right? So he's their centre half, and he's a big, tall fella, and he's up there for a free kick, throw in, call it like corner, call it like. He's there, and he's the target man. And what happens? They get it to the target man. We've got guys sitting in centre half, full back, goalkeeper, name them. They're all there, and that guy still gets in there and scores a goal. And I'm thinking, who's marking him? Number one, who's marking him? Because when you watch people at corners and they're pushing and jostling and everything, there's not a person anywhere near that guy. Not anyone went anywhere near him. No even to jump him, no bump him, call it what you like, and put him off. Nothing. The guy had an absolute clear run, beautiful jump, smack, ball in the net, done. Agree, the goalkeeper could have come for it, but the two centre halves are standing there, they're guarding nobody. And so maybe we're working zonal, but you don't go zonal when you got a 6'5" guy coming into you. You don't do it. You got to go man for man and push him out of the way, in the toe, so that he doesn't get to the ball. But he got to the ball. And that happens mostly other weeks as well. We lose goals at free kicks. We lose goals through stupid. When we lose a goal, you look around and you say, right, where's our centre half? Oh, he's out in the left wing there guarding the winger. Why? So there you are, right in the box. The guy gets in there, the ball comes to him, puts it in the net, and people start to wonder what happened. What happened is our centre halves weren't guarding him. That's what happened. And the goalkeeper could have came, shouted, that's my ball, bang, and punch him. Punch the player, doesn't matter, just punch him. That's what you do in football. It's what football is. Because people are told, watch yourself, the keeper's coming out, because they come right through you. And so they don't. Not as far as the keeper's concerned, they don't. Sorry, guys, I'm ranting again.
No, not a problem. Right, so that happened 68 minutes, so there's still 20 plus minutes left of the game to go. It looked a kind of nervous, kind of last 20 minutes. We looked as if we get the conference up to us all better. Gaffer made a few changes to possibly go in and win it, but there was no structure to the team. It was just a matter of getting the ball up the park and somebody do something, basically. So we forced a couple of corners. Miowski was in, lucky with a nice header. We thought he'd maybe win the game, but the keeper tips over the bar. Tavanir delivers. We're asking, I think it's a touch on it, and it falls to Max Arns to slot in the winner. It was a good one to win, but the reaction of the crowd after that, it was celebration, and then it was Russell Martin GTF. Never heard that in my life. Albert.
I know, so we'll get to that bit in a minute, but just going back to the 70 minutes, 25 minutes that second half, they ran over the Tapias. Martin stood there and watched it happening and done nothing. Nothing, mate. Never done any tactical moves. Never a clue what to do. Right? Martindale told you in his press interview after the game that he knew what Rangers were doing, and he never adjusted to the first half and Rangers' movement and what they were doing. But the second half, we changed it. Martin's not got the brains to see that he's moved these players about. I need to do something here because they're in Tapias. 25 minutes, mate, stood that. Then they score. They score their goal. All of a sudden, it's, we need to do something. And it shows you his tactical genius and what he knows about football, which is zilch. He just starts throwing players on, mate. And that's what he does. He just starts throwing players on. He's done it before and it didn't work out. He done it this time and it worked out. It's no tactical genius or anything brilliant. He just kept throwing players on. And it was forward players. He's sitting in my head. I think he'd always forwards on at one time to cut us. But the guy's a balloon. Total balloon. He got away with it. He got away with it on Sunday. We could have quite easily had a one each draw there or a defeat. Quite easily, mate. It could have went the other way. We were all happy that we won. But we made it really difficult for ourselves, and it shouldn't have been difficult. But in the second half, it was all down to the managers being an idiot. Just an idiot, mate. He doesn't know what he's doing, mate. It's obvious he doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he's been smart. He's not been smart at all, mate. If teams are tweaking their systems to combat you, and it's working, you can see they're dominating the game. You've got to do something. You've got to say, all right, I need to do this. I need to move my players. I need to bring somebody on. I need to do substitutes. You need to do something. You've done nothing, mate, till they scored the goal. Then it's all panic, skirts out of the heat, screaming like school lassies, like, we need to do something. And he's lucky he got out of jail free.
Bridge.
I cannot disagree with one word that Albert says there. It's there. It's there for everybody who loves the Rangers and watches the Rangers. You can see it's, shall we say, a nice word. We're full of confusion. Our team is full of confusion, and it's possibly down to the systems that the manager's asking the players to play. I just don't know. If we took that team it's a team that started and said, which way, where do you like to play in the pitch? As they go on the pitch, where would you like to play? Right, you go and take that position. And you might find you got 11 players in different positions from what you might think they were. And here, look, it all works. But if you tell somebody you're on the right wing when he prefers his left, because that's what happened to us in the second half. I don't understand why Gazman's one of the best players in Scotland, without a doubt. One of the best players in Scotland. He frightens the fullbacks. He's a lovely, tricky wee player. He scored for us. He's created for us. Why on earth would we not push the ball down to him all the time? He's got the fullback on toast. He'll pull him in. He'll pull him out. He'll bring him down in the box. That's the kind of thing that'll happen. All the great wingers that Rangers have had, you see they do it. They cajole, they trick. The first thing they want to do is get into the box. There you go. Get in there if you want to do it on the ground. If not, nice high ball into your centre forward and go for it. And we can't do that. For some reason, we just can't do that.
It gave us our first league win of the season. Amazing to say that. It's pure stuff. It really is. You see our league position 6 games into the league campaign, and that's us get our first victory of the season. It's no good reading. Your eyes don't lie, as I keep saying, pal, and it's a true phrase. What are we, 7 points in 8th position. We're still -1 in goal difference. We've only scored 5, conceded 6. But the league's a funny table this year, Albert. When you look at them, there's only 2 teams out of the 12 that have won more than 2 league games so far this season. That's highly unusual, so there's a lot of draws in there. It'll not take long, a couple of wins to get you up near where you should be and up there challenging.
But it can work the other way, mate. If teams are around about us, right down to Aberdeen, if they all start winning 1 game in 3, we're in a relegation battle, mate. Because I don't see this team going this extended run. Do you see going the extended winning run? I don't see it, mate. Simple question. I asked it yesterday with Robert when I was on the show. Do you see his style of football actually winning a league?
Is that to me?
No. The two years.
Go on, AK.
When you go, Bridge.
Right, just to say, I don't see. I've actually lost faith at the moment. I just don't see this manager doing anything. I wish and I hope that it does happen for the sake of the Rangers and the Rangers fans, because they don't deserve this shite that's going on. Oh, excuse me, the rubbish that's going on at the moment. It's bad. It's just bad for us, bad for the club, and bad for all our supporters all over the world. Really bad for them. And I don't understand why it's happening and why it's being allowed to continue. However, we can't say anymore. I don't think that manager knows what he's going to do, even for himself. I don't think he knows what he's going to do. I think he's picking a team and he's telling them, you play there, there, and there, and go into the park and do it. Just do it. I just don't see there's any intuition at all with that guy. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see it. Now, he might surprise me. He might surprise all of us and end up getting top of the league or something like that. That would be wonderful. And then we would all have a big, shall we say, a big red face because of it. But based on what I've seen, don't see it. Don't see him doing anything for us.
Right.
Well, anyway, winning a league, Alec. Winning a league.
Bear a wee sec, pal, please. Wee sec. We've spoke long enough about the game now, but we want callers in. This is a phone-in show, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Carry on, Albert.
It says winning a league is about grinding. It's all grinding football. You need to grind the results to win a league. It's a big marathon. But with his own admission, Martin said he likes to play attractive, flowing football. Attractive, flowing football is okay if you're going to get away with it in every game. But most games, it's a grind. Most games, it's get the wins, find a way to win. And for that point of view, you looked at the game in Sunday there in the first half. There were some lovely moves, some really nice moves within that half. You go, that's the type of football he wants to play. But can you maintain that football for 90 minutes? No. Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona, Real Madrid can't play that standard of football for 90 minutes, mate. So it's just moments within a game that he thinks, well, okay, we can play this nice passing game. But you've got to sacrifice something to play that nice passing game, and it's a defence you sacrifice. Now, the way it works with us, if teams could have one shot, we've seen it that many times, one or two shots, and they get a goal. Sometimes they get two shots and two goals in the whole game. So we've gained that up, and then you go, right, your nice passing game needs to come from a -2 point of view. You know what I mean? You're 2 goals down, 1 goal down. Happened all last season, mate. How many times we lose 1 and 2 goals, especially 2 goals? So you're sacrificing. It can't win you the league, mate. It's just impossible. It might be nice to watch at times, but that's what it is. It's just pretty football. It's no league winning football. It's just pretty football. You might win a cup, make a run in a cup and win a cup. If you're happy with that, well, fine. But St Johnstone can win cups. Aberdeen the Aberdeen team last year can win a cup. Winning cups doesn't make you a good team, mate. It just makes you a good cup team at times. You go to the breaks, whatever it is. You played some nice football, in particular in certain parts of certain games. That's all that is. But winning a league is a grind, mate. It's a total and utter grind, and he's no up for that, mate. He's up for the pretty football stuff. He's up for that. Everybody to say, "Oh, your team's good." Where are you in the table? We're 7th at the moment. We were 11th, but we're now up to 7th. 7th or 8th, whatever it is. It's not going to get you anywhere, mate. It's just no.
Well, we're not even seeing pretty football though, Bridge, are we? I mean, it's no pretty in the eye. It's not as if we're battering the opponent's goalkeeper with shots and goals and corners and free kicks.
and Martin's eye is because he said it at the start. That's the best we have played. I thought we played really well. You're going. You watch this. A couple of moves, aye, definitely. But that's the best we play. Is that the best we're going to play? That'd be one of the questions I'll be asking them. Anyway, sorry, mate.
It'll be interesting to see stats of how many, what possession we've got. We're normally a good high possession team, I'm not saying we're good at playing. I just mean from a possession perspective, we've got it. But we play a huge amount of...
Rich, do you want to hear the stats for tomorrow and then you can carry on?
Tell us, pal.
Right. I looked at, I'm like with my stats, so bear a wee look here. Right, XG, believe it or not, we were 2.29, which is probably the highest of the season. Livingston were 0.82. We had 65% possession yesterday, Bridge, stayed 35. 9 shots for Livingston, 15 for Rangers, 7 on target for us, 3 on target. Livingston, big chances. We had 4 to their 2. 8 corners, 4 against. And the goalkeeper saves, the Livingston keeper was busier with 5 saves and Jack Butland had 2. Carry on, Bridge.
No, the stats start to tell you. Look, we're Rangers, and statistically speaking, we should have and always should be get the most possession in any game we play against, particularly any team in our league. We've got to have possession. We've got to know what we're doing with it. So we seem to be not too bad with possession when we're going forward. I've said this a lot, but only up to the halfway line, because then we stop, or 10 yards inside our own half, we stop and start playing it back to the full back or whatever we do with it, and we fail to go into the opposition league area. We don't do these things for some reason. We build those 65%. We build by staying in our area. I mean, I saw big chunks of the game. We were just passing it back with the keeper to the fullbacks and then out again to the centre halves and so on and so forth. And I don't know whether, I wasn't at the game, but I don't know whether the crowd were happy with these tactics. I doubt it very much. It's frightening because we trip ourselves up. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but our team didn't have the same footwear as the other team had, in my opinion. Or we weren't used to the type of footwear we had on because we were slipping all the time. We gave away so much possession by slipping and being unable to control the ball right. And we need to do better than that. We need to make sure the possession we've got is true possession when we're going forward. True possession and doing something with it. No getting to the area and then coming back and putting it back to the keeper. That's just for keeping possession. That's all that is just keep possession. We want to be able to do some possessive, positive, should I say?
Yep.
Sorry.
Albert, see you just back up what Bridge is saying there. I also looked at the most touches in our team yesterday. And it backs up exactly what Bridgeman's saying. With the possession that we had, the most touches was Cornelius, followed by Tavanir, followed by Suter, which means we're obviously building up for the back. It's boring to watch, pal, innit?
I mean, it's not just this game, it's every game. This dominating the ball crap that I keep hearing. Martin's on about it all the time. Warburton used to be on about it all the time. Dominate the ball. What does that mean? What, you've got the ball? What are you going to do with it? It's effective possession you want. No plenty of possession. I mean, it's nonsense. It's just sitting watching it and going, oh, this is terrible. Knocking it about the back. It's sends you to sleep, mate. Let's be honest about it. Sends you right to sleep because it's garbage. It's just garbage. But again, that's what we're talking. We're talking about attacking football now. There's people saying we need to play attacking football to win this league. Nonsense, mate. Absolutely nonsense. You got to attack at the right time. You got to be effective with the ball when you've got the ball, and you've got to grind results out. And that was a grind yesterday. But it was lucky we got away with it. Let's be honest. Didn't have to be like that, mate. It should have been a comfortable victory. But we get ourselves into this. We get ourselves into these pickles.
Aye, I know. But we've been joined by caller Christopher. You've been on before. What's your thoughts?
Hi, how is everybody tonight?
Good evening, pal.
Aye. First thing I was going to say was I think that Russell Martin and iPad Man need to be gone from our club ASAP. But the point I was going to make is on Finlay Curtis. Finlay Curtis this season has scored more goals than our 3 strikers put together, and he can barely get a kick. What are we doing to Finlay Curtis? This is a young lad that's shown that he can do it. He's over with the fans. He gets it, and we're not giving him the game time. We've brought in Mikey Moore for Tottenham, which is bizarre. He's meant to be this wonder kid. Now, that term wonder kid does grind my gears because I think it puts undue pressure on young players. But why are we not developing our own players rather than try to develop everybody else's? Why not put the trust in Finlay Curtis? And look, if he stinks the place out, come January, you could always bring somebody else in. But develop our own players, and it would save us a lot of money down the line, because for me, the way it's going with Finlay Curtis, he'll disappear to England, and that'll be another player out of our academy went elsewhere. And just on a note, while on the academy subject, Ross McCausland has played 4 matches this season, scored 3 in the Cypriot League.
Albert, you want to answer these points?
The only reason people are jumping up and down about Finlay Curtis at the moment is because Moore is stinking. The wee boy's stinking. We think, when he came in here, we were sold the pup that this boy's a wonder kid. This guy's going to do this. This guy, he's only a young boy. I'm not getting at the young boy. But he's been stinking. Let's be honest about it. So we'll shout for Finlay Curtis now. If the boy Moore was a good player and produced or lived up to the hype that we believed in, you wouldn't be talking about Finlay Curtis. What we would be saying then is, how our boy's not as good as this boy. So Finlay Curtis is Finlay Curtis. He's not going to get it again, because I believe the big reason now, I'm not the one who is true, but I heard it today that the deal with Tottenham is the boy starts so many games. Debatable how many games it is, but that's what I heard. If that is true, and I don't say it is true, but if it is true, it's ridiculous. What are we signing that nonsense up for? That's us just turned into a B team for Tottenham, basically. That's basically what we're turning into, a B team. You play our players. I'll give you a player, but you need to play them. So we're picking your team for you then. Nonsense, mate. That's if it's true. And that's why Curtis is another reason Curtis is not getting into the team. Because at the end of the day, you've got to play this boy. But as for McCausland, to be honest with you, Christopher, I could score in that. I could score in that league, the Cypriot League. It's hardly the best league in the world. But I know what you're saying. I'm glad for the boy. I hope the boy goes on and has a brilliant career, because I like me McCausland. I did like him.
Aye. Albert, see, to just back you up on that, I don't know if you actually seen it, but I was actually going to say that myself. I watched a podcast today all about the jersey that Ricky Neal does, and one of the guests that he had on was a guy, Jason, I think his name was. He's actually one of the agents. He used to have actually a football background with Rangers back in Durant's days as a kind of S-form and stuff. So the boy, he's a Rangers supporter, but he's now kind of into the kind of, what do you call it? Basically an agent, so he knows a lot of players and he's obviously got connections in the game. And he said himself that Moore, he's led to believe that he must play 25 games, start 25 games this year for Rangers. So I don't know whether there's any truth in that or no, but he's got intel in there that's told him that. So what's your opinion there, Bridge? And then we'll come back to you, Christopher.
What can I say? You're talking about the boy Finlay Curtis. Showed much promise, a lot of promise, and all of a sudden he was either injured, slightly injured, or badly injured. I don't know, but he certainly never played for a wee while. He's came back a couple of times, but only in like short spells, and he's not on fire. Let's put it that way. He's not on fire. When he first made his good performances, he was on fire, scoring goals and all the things that make. And his nerves would have been jumping, and he'd be sky high, and all the confidence in the world. But now it looks as if he's trying to fight his way back into a team where he doesn't seem to know who the team are. I think that's what it is. I know it wasn't that long ago he was playing really well, but that was a different team. This is a different team now. So he's got to be able to get games. It's the same way any youngster. They've got to get time to get games, and it's really difficult. And by the way, I have to say that Mikey Moore is actually holding him out of his position in the team is remarkable, because Mikey Moore doesn't look anywhere near the hype he's been given. Nowhere near it. He doesn't look anything like a footballer that we know. He's there, he plays, and he tries to hold the ball. He does all these things, but no, the ball bounces off his shin, off his knee, all these stupid things that happen to young boys, and they're not quite match fit. Their timing's it, and that's the most important thing in a footballer's life is his timing. So he sees the ball coming. I saw him he had a clean air shot in the area. It was Sunday. A clean air shot. I couldn't believe it. So to me, I don't think Finlay Curtis nor Mikey Moore deserve anywhere in our team at the moment. But given their due, the team we've got now isn't that great. So they've not got too many big steps to take. If they can make the steps, they'll get back in the team. Other than that, it says a lot that they can't make it. Two young lads have got lots of talent, and they've shown it to what the relevant teams. I haven't seen any from Mikey Moore to show that he's a great quality, and he's a good guy. He's going to be a great player. I'm sorry, I don't see it. No offence to the boys, so forgive me. No offence to you. I don't see. You've never shown me anything that I think is great and will be great for us.
I think the controversy out it though, Bridge, I'll come back to you, Christopher, on it. If that is true and Spurs are dictating that we must start Mikey Moore for 25 games, what does that say about our club that we're willing to accept that? And I get where you're coming from. Where's the development for the likes of Finlay Curtis to play that role within our team? He's our player. We're trying to develop him. We're trying to get him into the first team to progress him. He scored early. Goals already away to St Mirren. I think was it Panathinaikos he scored as well, and Allo again too. But we've also got Ant-Man, a Finland internationalist that he's keeping out the team because Spurs are telling us you must start him for 25 games. That doesn't augur right. It also doesn't augur right that we're having to play lone players like say Cornelius that's keeping out Fernandes. And we've only got one left back, Magoma, who went off injured yesterday, Chris. So, but where does that leave us with him as well?
It's bizarre. It comes back to it all again. Recruitment and why we've hamstrung ourselves. Like say that as the contract, 25 games. Why is a club like Glasgow Rangers hamstrung itself to a situation where we've got to play this guy, regardless where he stinks the place out or not, regardless where he earns his place or not, we've got to play him for 25 games. For me, that is a disgrace, and that is poor recruitment. And what message does that send, not only to Finlay Curtis, but to the rest of the boys in the academy that's chomping at the bit trying to get near this first team, saying, oh, well, you can maybe come up to the first team, maybe get a couple of games here and there, but we'll bring in a boy for Tottenham, Manchester City and that, and they'll take your place. It sends the complete wrong message. And that's something we've not got, which across the city have got, is a local boy identity. We've not got that. They've got Forrest, Tierney, McGregor. We've not got any of that, and it's an absolute disgrace. And in terms of Fernandes, £3.5 million, we could have spent that somewhere else. I would have much rather been invested in Nsiala rather than spending £3.5 million out on a centre-back, to be honest with you.
Albert?
I look at that a different way, mate. The Finlay Curtis and all the boys, I look at it, I reflect Auchenhowie itself for that, mate. Any player that we go to buy for 17 years of age to 22 years of age is a slap in the face to Auchenhowie. Every single one, whether they get straight into the first team or not. It's a case of it's been neglected and allowed to run into it's shambolic. That's another bit of the organisation. It's shambolic because what should be really happening with the money and the way we've got to operate is the boys for 17 to 22 should be they should all be coming out of Auchenhowie. As many as possible, but probably at least six every 2 years should be coming out of Auchenhowie to fill the team up. And the age group for say 23 to 26 should be the ones that we buy in for money to get straight into the first team. And from 26 to 28, 29 is the ones we make the money on. We sell on and start making money. That's what should be happening, mate. What actually is happening? We're buying boys. We're buying boys to fill up the B team at one point. That's how shambolic the whole thing is. It's a mess, mate. It's a mess. And now we're just at another situation with Curtis can't get into the team if it's true. But we don't know if that's true, mate. It's maybe somebody will find out one day if it's a fact. Don't know. But if it is, it's ridiculous. Because it's I don't understand why we brought him up anyway, because I looked at the boy and went, if he comes up here and he helps us win the league, it's worthwhile. He comes up here and we don't win the league, it's a waste of time. Why am I bringing him up? May as well play Curtis. It's just doesn't make sense from any angle you look at it, mate. So I'm expecting, when I heard the boy was saying, I'm going, this boy must be really special. This boy must be really good. Then I looked at him and went, you're all right, son, but you're nothing. I mean, to be honest, we have seen better players in the B team, Rangers B team, since me and Southside been going occasionally down to see the B team. There is better players in the B team at that time.
Archie Stevens,
Archie
Stevens,
Archie Stevens, a rare player, a brilliant, better than Moore.
Arsenal signed him.
I know.
Arsenal,
we had him when we were sitting there. We seen him and went, that boy's a real player. Even Big Salah's a player as well. Now we've got thrown him out the door. We don't want him for whatever reason. He's lacking his experience. But we're kicking him out the door. We don't want him. But as I say, I'll just finish by saying 17 to 22, every player that we sign at that age group, between 17 and 22, like for the first team I'm talking about, or even for the B team, I know there isn't. So I don't think there's a B team now. But anyway, it's a slap in the face to Hawking. It's every one of the coaches up there that deal with it at that age group. It's a thing that hidden shame, absolute shame.
No, I agree with you there, pal, and what you're saying. Bridge, basically what Christopher's intimating is fingers should not just be getting pointed now at Russell Martin for the situation that we're in. Kevin Thelwell has got a lot of explaining today. I know we've had a big turnover of players, 32 players, 14 players in, 18 out. The squad was asked for a big turnover of players. But they're meant to improve the team, and at this moment in time we've actually regressed, so they've got a lot to live up to with the transfer fees that has come with them, none more so than Chermiti. Big question marks over that deal and why, when we've seen better players, be it Ibrox with Seema and Cherny, and wonder why we've no went back to them. Obviously, they might know him as well as what we've seen them, or they didn't fancy him, or that's the market that they keep telling us that they don't know it, that it's mere the English leagues and that. So it's all a gamble, but there's been a big outlay in money that the owners are put into there, and it's not just the transfers. I think our outlay, our incomings off the transfers was running about 23.5, 24 million. I think going out the way was about 28, 29 million. But they said we had a net transfer, 20 million. So loan fees are included in that. But basically we've had a big outlay for the owners, and they put the trust in the director of football and Russell Martin to get that recruitment right, and it doesn't look it on paper now.
I can't agree. I can't disagree with anything you said there. I can put on it my thoughts, and it's this. As far as I'm concerned, we should be taking all the coaching staff for the first team. We should be taking the coach, Mr. Russell. We should be taking Thelwell, and we should be taking Stewart and dumping them. They are not doing anything for Glasgow Rangers. Nothing. They've never brought in that's not been controversial. When I mean controversial, I don't mean that the players are controversial. I just mean it's been controversial. They've brought in 2 centre halves that are 6'4", 6'5", and we can't play them. For some reason, we can't play them. Now, one of them might be injured, maybe 2 of them are injured. But those players, in my opinion, have came to Rangers and they've never been fit. Never been fit. And it's the same with some of the players that they brought in that we haven't played so frequently. but most of the players that come to Rangers have not been fit when they got here. I don't know what they've done with them. They've never been fit, and they don't look as if they're going to get fit. Certainly no the fitness expected at Ibrox. So there's something wrong in the teams, in the team purchases. There's something wrong. I mean, that big centre forward, I saw him the first time he was on. I thought he is, and I love the term they use. He looks as if he's towing a caravan permanently. He needs to be sent away to a junior team and letting them run him up and down all over the country if he goes that way, to get fitness back into his legs, because some of our players are badly unfit. I said it at the start of the show, and some of the things I've said, we're playing against teams like Livingston, and a ball comes through by the defender. It's a cracking ball, and it's going through the defence and right through the midfield, right through the defence, and somebody's running onto it. And if it goes through to the centre forward, he just runs past us. We just haven't got the pace. We've no pace at all. And when we see those two big guys and they can't get a game, it looks like they can't get a game. And unfortunately, it may in fact be injury. But no, I'm sorry. We are stupid. We're stupid as a club. We're making the same mistakes every week. It's the same nonsense every week. We're team only playing to the potential and so on and so forth. It's not there. And it's the same people that are standing on the sidelines, are standing in the terraces and in the stands, and we can't see what our team's doing. We can't see it. So we've got a serious managerial problem, in my opinion, right at the very top. And from a manager down to his coaching staff, I would have to, for me, they would have to find a way of clearing them all out and bringing you in.
Mm-hmm. Christopher, come back to you briefly before the tune. I said there a few shows ago, Michael Beale made a fatal error when he sold Sakala and Cholak, and we were also losing Arfield and Morelos. Now, 47 league goals they'd scored between them the previous season. Russell Martin has let go Igaman, Dessers and Czerny for last season. That's 63 goals that he's had to replace there. Fatal errors, in my opinion, it looks like now, Christopher.
Yeah, it's. I'm a very big critic of the recruitment. I have been for a long time, and I will continue to be. It's just absolutely shocking. The whole thing about player trading is, when you trade someone out, you've got to have the next person ready to go, ready to replace what's left. And we're simply not doing that. We're just simply not doing that. And we're going to struggle to get to 60 goals this season, I suspect.
Albert, 2 minutes.
Dessers, Igaman and Czerny. They were all, two of them were sold and one of them didn't get the bought for reasons, mate. It wasn't like, we just decided to get rid of them. Dessers was the best deal for his age. He had to go. Igaman didn't want to play for us anymore, so he had to go. And Czerny was too expensive. It's not like we willingly wanted all them to go. Because Dessers was 26, if they kept Dessers. If Igaman wanted to play for us, they kept him for at least another season. And if Czerny you were going to get him for £2.5 million, they'd have done it. But that's the three reasons for them. You can't just say, we let the 47 goals or however many goals it is out and no replace them. And by the way we're playing now, it wouldn't matter who we've got up front or centre forward, because they don't get any chances. There's the chance that Milovski got there on the weekend and missed it. That was his only chance, really. Well, in all the games he's played, the 3 or 4 games he's played, that was his only real chance. So you're going, we're going to get one chance for your centre forward in every 3 games. It's not good enough, mate. That's just simply no. You're never going to get a prolific goal scorer if you're only creating one chance in every 3 games for them. So that's the reason they 3 went. But anyway, I don't want to talk more because I know you got a 2-minute limit on me.
You were beaten there. Perfect timing. Right, so guys, if you don't mind getting yourself on mute, we'll go to the tune.
I'd been in exile for some years and my eyes filled up with tears when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. So I took a trip along just to hear some famous songs when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. I stood there all alone while the boys all down from home sang of Rangers, that team of great renown. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now on the field below, the boys put on a show, the likes they'd never seen at Molyneux. And as football it was grand, from Macmillan, Scott and Brand, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now the league flag must come nearer, with men like Bobby Shearer, the way he played at Wolverhampton town. And the world forever after would sing of Jimmy Baxter, for on his head they placed that noble crown. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. Now I knew it had to happen, I heard a mighty roar, the famous Glasgow Rangers they had scored. And the sky was white and blue, Wolverhampton shook right through, the loyal ramping Rangers had come through. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers, one of the famous songs they sung. And a sight I'd never seen when they sang God Save the Queen, when the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town. When the Rangers came to Wolverhampton town.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Everybody back, yeah.
Wolverhampton town.
On you go, Bridge.
I love it.
Some players in that team, Bridge, eh? Bring back good memories.
Oh my God, you know, I remember that well. I was only a youngster. I remember it well. My God. Molyneux. First time I'd ever heard the term Molyneux, you know. Oh, wow, what's happening? My team. Great stuff.
Aye, great team and great song. Right, second part of the show. Come to you first, Albert. James Tavanir scored again yesterday. 610 games he's played for Rangers. 139 goals, 123 assists. Is he, how would you describe it? Is he underappreciated with the Rangers support?
At the present time you're talking about?
Well, just with the stats. Individual stats is there. But in my opinion,
there's two sections.
I like to see trophies. Aye, when you go.
Aye, there's two sections there. There's what he's done with all the games and the goals he scored and the assists he's got. And there's the present time. At the present time, he's getting a bit of criticism. Not so much now, right, I know, because he's starting to play really well. So you've got to give him his due for that. But he's what age is he? 34, didn't he? Or somebody saying in Sunday.
33, I think.
33, 34, something like that. It was his birthday, but no, October, isn't it? He's like, I don't know. Anyway, this is
game I cared.
He's getting near the end of his career, so they know that's what people are talking about. Plus, all through his career, he can't defend. That's his big thing. He cannot defend, but he can score goals and he can assist goals. There's no doubt about that. And for that fact, he's great respect. He's you'll never see a Rangers fullback, any fullback for that matter. I'll never do this again, mate. What he's achieved. So it's records that are in the record book for a long, long time to come, if not forever, because nobody's doing what he's done. It's incredible. But again, it's down to trophies as well. He's not won enough trophies. He's won some, but he's not won enough. Is that his fault? Not entirely. Not entirely, mate. He's got to have some decent players, some decent teams around. And I really think he's only ever been in one real good team. And that's the one that, that won the league, and then the following year or whatever, next couple of years, that Van Bronckhorst took a UEFA Cup final. I think that's, to be fair to Tav, that's the only real team he's ever played in. You might say two teams, but to me it's just a team. But I think he gets underappreciated at the moment for what he's been doing over the past. Right now, for a wee while there last season, and some of this season he isn't playing well, mate. But there was the whole team. But he's starting to play now. He's really starting to, and that goal he scored on Sunday was superb. What a goal. What an absolute goal. What he's doing there, I've not got a clue, but it's still a good goal. Probably that's going down as one of the goals of the season, that one. Not just for us, for in the league. But aye, he's underappreciated. But if he keeps on playing the way he's playing, he'll come back up again. But his time, he shouldn't be in the team now. He should at the moment, because he's the best right back we've got at the moment. But he shouldn't be the best right back we've got. But he is. That's a fact of that's a fact of life. So I would say underappreciated, mate.
Thanks for that. Listen, I agree with a lot of what you say. Individual, as I say, I'm no big for praising individuals, whether it be a player or whether it be a manager. And I certainly don't hold a grievance whether it be a player or a manager or that either. But for me, he's right back in position, name only. For me, he's always been a forward that can't defend. You know, don't get me wrong, he's had some good games in defence, Bridge, but arguably his numbers are up there with the best kind of forwards that we've had actually over the years at our club. You know, it's not just, I know a lot of them are going to be penalties, but even for open play, as it was the case yesterday, that was a fantastic finish. But I'm with you, Albert, what is he doing there in the first place, you know?
35 penalties.
Aye, right. So that's... Anyway, Bridge, on you go.
Thank you. What can we say about Mr. Tavanir? I think he's been a marvellous Rangers player. And I could say this right now, he's one of the finest Rangers fullbacks that we've ever had. He's been a marvellous player for us. I think over the last couple of years, I think wee bit of age catching up with us and him, and the wee bit of pace it taking past players is starting to catch up on him now. He can't quite do that. Although you see him involved from a defensive perspective, you see him, but I don't think he's, shall we say, the same quality of player that he was 3 or 4 years ago. And that's natural. It's age, it creeps in. It gets everybody. His legs haven't got the energy that's needed for what he's trying to do. It keeps him going. He scored a lovely goal at the weekend, absolutely lovely goal. And you know, but what I see about Tav now is, even although he's getting on, he's taking all the corners, he's taking all the free kicks, he's taking the penalties, and he's taking all the throw-ins. And I find that absolutely baffling. Absolutely baffling. You know, I don't know what you guys think of it. I just think it's crazy. We've got Tavanir taking all of these things, and he scores goals. He scored a couple of goals. I just find it amazing, just amazing, that all the other players have been outshone insofar as their ability to take free kicks. I bet you there's some guys in there are brilliant free kick takers, penalty kick takers, but Tav's taking them all. And I don't know when it's going to stop, but we need to tell Tav to get back to right back or do something other than be running across the pitch to take corners and throw-ins. It's not right. right? We're depending on him. We're depending on James Tavanir as he was 4 years ago, and that's not right. He's not got that now anymore. That's it.
I agree with you there as well, Bridge. Listen, Christopher's dropped out now, but if you want to phone back in and contribute, you're more than welcome. So give the panel a call. Fox has come up with a question here, Albert, for the panel. Forget about the past, with the 49ers coming in, did the support expect too much too soon in regards to winning things and big signings, and has it fueled the disappointment that we've experienced so far? Albert.
Hindsight's a great thing, and we're sitting watching this live, and from this point of view, you would say aye, and everything that was different. Fox is asking it, but in reality, what we were expecting wasn't so much the big signings. We know we're not going to get multi-million. Well, the Germany signing, we didn't expect to get that signing at that price, no. Whether he turns out to be a good player or no, that remains to be seen. But we didn't expect to get that type of player at that price. But so we weren't expecting big signings. What we were expecting was a competitive team. We were definitely expecting that. But what we actually get is a bum potty, a coach who wants to reinvent the wheel and make us all play this style of football. It's never going to win a league anyway, no matter if we play it well or no. It's never winning your league. So, aye, disappointment. Oh, aye. They're underestimated. I don't think the 49ers underestimated anything. I think what they've done is right. They got Stuart put in place prior to them taking over the club. He does the audit for them before they come in. It's called a review. It's an audit. He does the audit prior to them come in. They come in. They get a report off of him. Then they say, right, this is a viable club to buy. We can make money out of this, definitely. We can do something in this club. They then get Stuart to appoint Thelwell and Purdy, and then they all combine and appoint Martin. Right. So, for that point of view, they've done everything right. It just turns out that Stuart picks a fight with the Union Bears and the Rangers support right away. You know what I mean? He starts into them right away. Wrong thing to do. Completely the wrong thing to do. And then you've got the situation with the signings. Thelwell decides that I've only got a short period of time. I've got a massive turnover of bodies, so I need to shop where I've been shopping before and where I know the market. So that's what it is. So far, it's not worked out. So, I mean, most of the people have come in have not hit the ground running. That's apart from Gazima. He's hit the ground running. So you can't say he hasn't. He's been playing well. But the rest of them haven't. Jigger, you may go through them all. Azagard's a complete and utter waste of time at the moment. Has he got skill? Aye, he's got skill. You can see he's got skill. Has he got the attitude? Well, that's not looking like it, is it? So for that point of view, disappointment in the 49ers. Well, I don't think it's the 49ers. They've done everything right. They've just appointed the right people. But remember, by the way, they've not got great experience in this. Side. I mean, what's the name? The chairman down at Leeds, and he's our vice chairman. What's his name again?
Parag Marat.
Parag Marat. Is that it? So he's got a bit of experience. How much influence he had in what's happening at the club at the moment, I don't know. I really don't know. I would imagine he had a fair bit of influence, but I think it's doing the whole lot. It's down to Patrick Stewart at the moment as the CEO. So aye, I don't think we had great expectations regarding the signings, but we did have expectations of competing in the league, and the way it's all panned out at the moment, and Europe. I mean, we go through Europe, and they'll be delighted at that. We go through Europe. We could buy the qualifiers, which took us into the Europa League guaranteed, and then they win the £5 million bonus game. Oh, that's fantastic, and he's gave you access to multiple millions in Europe. You'll lose the multiple millions if we keep playing the way we're playing, because he's not got a clue how to win a game in Europe. We got away with the one with Panathinaikos, but we really shouldn't. And we got away with the one with Pilsen. But if you remember the return line of Pilsen, they battered us over there as well. So we got away with that as well. So then we took the 9-1 aggregate defeat for Bruges. So to that point of view, disappointment all over the place, mate. Then you look at the league for complete and utter disappointment there, and especially if you're looking around the league that all the other teams that have brought players in and new managers in, and they're just competing away. They're just put it this way, they're no worse than us. Some of them are actually a lot better than us, but the ones, most of them are just competing with us, more than competing with us. So that's a disappointment. I know it's a long-winded answer, but that is to say, aye, disappointed for certain things, no disappointed for other things.
Thanks for that short answer. I'm going to be good now, Bridge.
Overtaking me.
Aye, there's a lot. I mean, it's not a one-word answer you could give anyway. I mean, I agree a lot with all Bear says there. I think the new owners coming in, they've basically put a structure into the club that we didn't have before under Clement and previous managers, Bale and that as well. I thought Stuart Robertson and Ross Wilson left us right in the lurch with they two buggering off, and then Bisgrove done the same. Wasn't qualified to do the same either. Bale cost us a lot on recruitment with basically dismantling the team that Gerrard had built and Gio took on, and the recruitment fee then has been poor, to say the least. When you look at our defensive line, the new Bridge, when you're talking about Magoma, there is a loan away at the end of the season. Suter, away at the end of the season. Cornelius loan away at the end of the season. Tavanir deal up away at the end of the season.
Cornelius is a loan.
Well, option to buy. Option to buy.
You'll buy him.
I'm not sure on that one. But Giga loan and Aarons is the same. So we've only really got Fernandez that's in there that is our player in Ciala. We're trying to build a team there to win a league, Bridge. You can't build a house on sand. You've got to have a foundation.
Yeah, I think we've done it. This, like the fans, I'm quite sure the fans are similar to myself. We're expecting better things than we've got, and that includes the manager. So I'm talking about, I said earlier, you're talking about your three top people in the club report directly to the high agents. Those three have been a disaster for us. Their treatment of the fans, their pompousness when they're speaking about and to the fans is just wrong. In anybody's language, it's wrong. Their transfers have proved to be, we're just speaking about them. We've got the vast majority of them are loan players that we've got to the end of this season. Some of them we can actually buy if we want to, and so on and so forth. And I think that the contract for that young Mikey Moore is just unbelievable. Got to have 25 games. Wow, what can I say? Who would agree to that? Only Rangers. And the guy's going to offer us. He's not offered us anything. His skills don't appear to be as good as some of the guys we've got even. But say no. But for me, the fans have been majorly disappointed in the Rangers. Now, a lot of fans like myself will accept a great result. We're talking about 2-1 against Livingston, and that's a great result for us given the situation we're in. And we're, as I say, we're still not out of the bottom six. We need to be sprinting for the rest of the season, full pelt. But I think most of the fans don't believe that will happen. We just don't believe it. We might win games, and we might even, with luck, get ourselves up, and then build a bit of confidence and motion with the team and so on and so forth, a bit of momentum. But for me, Bridgeman says, I don't think we're going to see that this season unless we actually go and get another manager. But everything might change. I'm no stupid. Everything might change, and then we're all back to saying, oh, we're playing better. We should wait till we get them and so on and so forth. No, for me, no. If anybody thinks our fans are happy, then they need their head examined. I'm talking about anybody at the top level in a club and the senior executive level. They're mental. If they think our fans are happy, I can imagine them thinking, well, they should be happy because we're here. That's a different case. None of us are happy that way.
Here's a thing.
When you go,
people are on about, we should spending money on the £20 million and all this carry on. The players we've got on loan at the moment, are you happy with them? Because they're all playing rotten. Most of them are playing rotten. Right? So we've not signed them. So what happens if we spent the money and actually signed some of these players? You've got a bigger bad mood at the moment. So for that point of view, I'm happy that they said spend the £20 million. because if they sign like Aarons and the Jigger and things like, I know you're not probably going to afford them, but if you'd have spent money on players that turn out to play the way the loanees are playing, you'd be raging, mate. You'd be stuck with them as well. At the moment now, this is just a trial period with these people. You go, nah, no way do we want them. They're no good enough. Cornelius, I think we will sign. I think he's a decent player. I really do. He's just playing in a bad system at the moment. But so there's that way. So because you spend money doesn't automatically mean the players are going to be brilliant. That's the point I'm trying to make, I suppose. But so there's going to take a positive out of everything. So the good thing is the ones that are playing, the lone players that are playing bad, we can send them back anyway.
I get that. Getting back to your point, no, Bridge, I think it's apparent that the Rangers support are very unhappy, and what made it apparent is we score a winner well into injury time, and the first chant that comes up for the Rangers support is Russell Martin GTF. But are the Rangers support overstepping the mark with their personal abuse of the Russell Martin?
Well, so do you want me or over to me?
Aye, when you go, Bridge.
Okay, pal, right. Look, I think because, like other Rangers, a lot of Rangers fans, it's just boiling over, isn't it, to me? The fans are just raging, and some of them are getting very vociferous. Although a lot of Rangers fans aren't as vociferous, you know, so they won't want to be. I'm not a fan that boos the team. I don't boo the team at any time, and I don't like the team. I don't like to hear the team getting booed. But when that's happening and your manager's getting shouted at to get to GTF, then that's really wrong, and so many levels it's wrong, and it's not just it's a televised live game, and our fans are telling our manager to GTF, we're getting booed off, or we're getting booed off. All these things happening. The board should be looking at that and saying that shouldn't be happening. We need to do something about it, and they've never done anything about it. So we've gone from booing our team to get GTFs to the manager. It's not right. But I can't blame the fans for doing it. Well, I do to a certain extent. But it's a frustration. The fans' frustration is doing it, and I don't think the fans should be doing it. But I can't blame them. I can't, because it's really, really. I'm quite happy to say and maybe use words from this platform here, and I'm quite happy to criticise them to the ends of the earth, because I think they're a rotten mob, and they're proven up to now to be a rotten mob in charges. Our club is sitting there second bottom of the league. Second bottom of the league. The Rangers, second bottom of the league. In this day and age, wrong. In anybody's language, anyone you want to ask, it's wrong. And the board should be doing something about that, which would in turn do something about enlightening it, making things better for the club, for the players, for the fans, and the whole club would just get better and better. This is going to kill us. If they don't do something about it, it's going to kill us. We can't go on like this. Okay, we're in a wee bit of improvement. We won another game. So, but it needs to be better. That's what I mean. But no, we can't do with the fans shouting at our manager. It's no right. They might be saying the truth in their own hearts, and they don't want them. But we have to find a better way of getting rid of them. And I would blame the senior management for that. If they refuse to move on the manager or the status of the manager, something's going to happen. It's going to happen bad.
Aye. But it certainly doesn't help the team, that the toxic environment that's following the team now, and the support have every right to vent their frustrations at what they're seeing, and you know the way the club's been running. Obviously, they've singled out our manager and Kevin or Patrick Stewart just now, but I'm sure pretty soon Kevin Thiel will be in that. But playing devil's advocate, can you see it for the owner's point of view why they're ignoring the noise run about them now? Because you look at the past 10 years, in particular at the club, you know, the amount of managers that we've had, the support are basically got their way on a lot of the decisions and the quick turnover of players, the quick turnover of managers, and they might see that the fact, well, we're not getting dictated to with a kind of mob element, because it's no conducive for success going forward, because our trophy couldn't reflect that. So because of the change of the players, the personnel, the managers, the money that we've lost, they might say, well, we really need to stick by the decisions that we've made to bring in Patrick Stewart, to bring in Thirlwell, to bring in Russell Martin, and stick with them regardless what the support think. But for the support's point of view, we obviously look out onto the park and say, this is absolutely garbage. We've spent this amount on players. As you said earlier, other managers, other teams, Motherwell, Dundee, Hibs have got a resurgence. St Mirren are doing pretty well. Dundee United's had a turn, and nowhere near a level of budget as us. And that's, I think, where the anger and frustration are, as well as the fact that sometimes some of the things that Russell Martin says and the way he conducts himself and treats the Rangers support with contempt, that doesn't help the relationship either. Can you see it from kind of both points of view?
Yeah, my answers are long. That's the longest question I've ever had in my life. No, look, these are hard-nosed businessmen. Let's know this is a fact. We're dealing facts. There's a fact. They're hard-nosed businessmen, and hard-nosed businessmen, successful businessmen, don't make emotional decisions. They don't make their decisions on emotions. That's what I should say. They're not stupid enough to just, there's hundreds of wee guys all dressed in black, all shouting and ball and get rid of the manager, and we better pay attention to that and do it. We better do what they're saying. It's not happening, mate. Results is the thing that will get Martin. And it's the only thing that's going to get Martin. You can shout and ball all you want about it. They can jump up and down in posters and all that and demonstrate outside the club. They've made their feelings known. Everybody knows where they stand. The support, not just them, everybody support where they stand. But they'll not make that decision, mate. And they'll not get rid of him for the reasons that we want to get rid of him. They're a hard-nosed mob, mate. They'll sit there and look at it and go, right, we'll let it roll on with results, and we'll see what happens where we're going. Ibrox will empty, it's financial and all that. I know all the arguments and all that, mate. But the one thing's for sure, we've made decisions through emotion before, and that's why we're in the state we're in. We can't keep sacking managers. I keep saying this. The unfortunate thing is, before we've come up with that reason and going, oh, right, okay, that's all right, we shouldn't be sacking man. We've ended up with a dumpling manager to set the bar, which is crazy. They should have done it with Clermont. We shouldn't have sacked with Clermont. Okay, get beat with Queen's Park, and that was the one that got him. But we shouldn't have sacked him. We should have took into account all the difficulties the guy had in front of him and all the infrastructure that wasn't in place to support him. But we didn't. The results weren't going right. We jumped up and down. We fell out our tree. And he did get some good results, by the way. And he did start beating that mob across the city, which was no mean task, because up to that point, we weren't beating that. They weren't coming close to beating that mob. So they'll not make this decision lightly, mate. They'll not turn around and say, oh, well, they're all fell out their tree because we get beat with Bruges or whatever. But eventually you can't ignore it. And that's what they'll do. They'll wait till they can't ignore it and say, well, he has to go, because he's there to build a team, aye, but he's also there to get results, mate. Stuart came out with it and says, we're trying to build an aeroplane while we're still flying. The trouble is, we've not got any wings. It's not a day we build an aeroplane. We're not even off the ground yet. So we're not flying. It's a case of we need to get this up and running and moving. Now, his result on Sunday will help him. But it's not the answer. It's not the final story. It's not this is the end product. Look what we're doing. It's a stay execution. We're all saying that. It's a stay execution. But he is going to go. All managers get sacked, mate. Even successful managers get sacked. Every manager in football, I'm talking about, gets sacked. So I don't think they'll make the decision. But as for Martin and the personal stuff, I don't mind the complaints. You can complain all you want and shout what you want. That's fine. I'm not supporting the personal stuff. His personal life and all that, and his eating habits, and all the rest of the carry on. No, anything personal, I'm no into, mate. That's out of order. That is stepping over the line. shout and get to. I know that's all fair game, mate. That's you're in a results-driven industry. You're not getting results, so you've got every chance of people want you out the door and shout things to get you out the door, but not personal. Don't make it personal. Keep it away from that. And the guys that I've been hearing, it is pretty personal. It's the one in Hearts. That was sheer hatred, mate. That was what I was hearing. I didn't like that at all. That was hatred.
I agree with you. Bridgman?
Yeah, I agree 100% with what Albert's saying there. I think that when it comes to our manager, or any club's manager for that matter, I don't think managers should be treated like that. But I think I blame the board, not for the people shouting at them, but for the way it's going. I think it's tragic. I mean, seriously tragic that it's happening. And I think that the board should notice that. If the board see the fans turning on the manager, they should be trying to do something about it. And I don't know how they would do it, but they must have to start speaking to the fan groups and getting it sorted at that level. Because it's horrified. It's absolutely horrified. Don't get me wrong. I actually agree with, in my thoughts, I actually agree with them. It should be like that. No, we shouldn't be here. But I don't think we should be openly aggressive as we are to the manager. Number one, it's a game. It's a game, and he's just a club, and he's a manager of the club, and we should show him that respect. The fault for the manager being there is the board. That's their, whomever it is that picked him, they have to do something about it, because he's not showing the results that the fans like, and the fans are booing that and whatever. And I want that to stop. But the only way you can stop it is in reality is that the board have to do something about it.
Yeah, I see you there, Bob Ger, but we're into the last half hour of the show, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
As we've been joined with a legend, Bob Ger. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing?
Good, pal. How's yourself?
Well, pal, if I could start with saying the second half yesterday was dreadful. First half wasn't too bad. We could have been 2-0 up at top of the penalty, but that happened. And the second half, Rangers were dire. They were terrible. Slow, laboured, lacky ideas, you name it, it was there. And for a support to turn round and sing the now famous song that they're all singing, that you all know, for to do that after a victory, well, I think the man's position is untenable. Got to be. And Albert, you summed it up very well, bud. Summed it up as well as anybody. And I just think that there has to be a change made for the good of the club, sooner or later. Well, no later, sooner, actually. And whoever appointed the guy's got to hold their hand up and say, right, we've made a mistake here, we need to change before the season disappears on the horizon. So where we go from here is anybody's guess. All going round in circles and no painting a very good picture. So we'll just have to wait and see when we go into another difficult European tie on Thursday and see how we go on there. Do you agree?
Yeah, well, definitely. I'd a wee look at Sturm Graz. They're actually got after a good start in the Austria Bundesliga. They're currently second, just behind Rapid Vienna. 15 points, 2 points behind, but playing a game less than them. They played Bodo Glimt in the qualifiers for the Champions League. They had they get gubbed 5-0 away to Bodo in the first leg, but beat Bodo 2-1 in the return leg. So it suggests that they're a good home team. The first game of the Euros, they actually lost away 2-0 to Midfield as well. So that's what's ahead of us in waiting. But what do you make of Bob Ger's points, pal?
I agree. I totally agree. He will go. It's just when, but he will go. The only wee caveat I put on it, Bob Ger, is if this mob owners, the 49ers, decide that, well, this league's done anyway, so we'll just use this as a transitional year, we might have to suffer this throughout the whole season. I don't think the Rangers fans will be happy with that. I'll not be happy with that, because I thought when they come in and we were signing all these players that they were going to be competitive, at minimum be competitive. Winning the league, well, we'll see. That will happen, that will not happen. But be competitive. At the moment, we're not competitive. Sitting there and I don't know about you, but I'm waiting. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. A thumping's in the post, an absolute doing for somebody. It's in the post, mate. We all can see it's going to happen. Again, I know we've already had a heavy one with Bruges. I can see it will happen again, and maybe even 2 or 3 times. Because if he doesn't change tactics and he doesn't understand about defences and getting his defence sorted out, and he doesn't seem to be that kind of manager, well, it's going to happen. And we're all going to be sitting there unsurprised, which is going to be frustrating beyond belief, because we all can see it's going to happen, but nothing's going to be done about it. That's crazy, mate. It's just crazy. But at the end of the day, they might just say, well, leave it alone. We'll just keep it going because it's going to be a transitional period. Yeah. In fact, if they leave it as a transitional period, season, we might not even get a European spot. We might not have Europe next year at all. So, anyway, that's my point in that one.
I don't know if it'll get as low as that, but hopefully no. But what could force the hand, Bridge, is I've looked at it before, I've mentioned it before. See the games, the League Cup games where you have to buy your tickets to Euro attendances as well. 33,000 was the attendance for Alva, 42,000 attendance for Bruges, 38,000 for Hibs, and 35,000 the home game against Genk. When you're talking the best, well, probably over 2 million estimate on tickets, and corporates and all things like that. So when you're losing that volume of money, Bridge, that's when the owners should be taking up and take notice, say, that things need to change here, and the supporter are deciding not to back this project that we don't like calling it.
Yeah, like we can be under no illusions. It's when you've got 10,000 plus tickets not sold for a big game, then there's something wrong. And business, anybody with a business head on at all sees that. Why? What's going on? As I said earlier, the first thing they should be saying is, what on earth's going on? Why is the manager? Is it the manager? Well, I'm sorry. Of course, it's a manager. So we need to do something. They're not going to go and sack each other. They're going to have to change a manager. So there's probably 4 or 5 games, as you just pointed out there. But certainly the big ones, when we've got a full 50,000 or close to it for any game at Ibrox, then there's something really wrong. Really wrong. Now, I know sometimes it doesn't happen because of UEFA wanting 5,000 seats or something like that, so you might have to go down to 45,000. But you've still got some people wanting tickets for the games. This time now, by the sound of it, people want the tickets. Now I'm not including the away games here because we've got a massive following for away games, and they did us proud again on Sunday. That will hopefully continue because the players, no matter what it is, the Rangers players, they deserve the support. And my God, we need to do something. As you said there, so if you're talking, we're going to lose out to something over £2 million this European campaign alone. If we're going to lose that in ticket sales and things like that, then it's horrendous for the club. Horrendous for the club. They're the big earners. That's why we want to be in Europe, because you get big crowds.
It might work the other way, Bridge. It might work the other way. You're not talking about if we're dropping this kind of money and the crowds are dropping, they might look at their hand. Remember, they're hard-nosed businessmen. They might look at it and go, "This is a bad investment. We're out of here."
Well, there you go.
Look at it that way,
and that might be even better for us. If you get what I mean. No. It might be. I'm just taking that a wee bit further. So you might have people like Dave King wants to get back in, just for saying sake. You could have people want it.
He can't afford to get back in there. Nobody will be able to afford it.
What are they going to do? Are they just going to leave it?
No, they'll sell it. They'll asset strip
Well-
it first and then sell it. They sell the husk. That's what they'll do. They'll
Well,
get their
they
money
might
back
do.
one way or
They
another.
might do,
Get
but
their money
you-
back one way or the other.
Of course, but if you look at it, if they've got any sense as businessmen, the first thing they need to say is, what is the problem? And all the fans are telling them the problem. This is rubbish. There's rubbish here shown here, and we're not going to get anywhere.
But they'll not build a business on emotions, mate. They won't.
No,
build
it's
them
not
on-
emotions. It's not emotions because
Well,
the
it is
people-
emotional when the fans are not going. The fans are in a
No.
bad mood because they're not got a winning team, so they're emotionally
No,
involved in this.
that's it. You get to build something that people want to come and see. So our fans are well quoted all over the world for following and travelling and seeing our team. We'll get a great support. But something's happened. We're not getting the support. And it means that the fans are turning their back because of the manager. No matter what you do, if you don't change the manager and maybe even the people above him, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble money-wise. Right? And they get to that point.
But they're going to look at it this way.
I don't know, Bill. Bob Jer's sitting there. Well, I see Smurf has just come in. I'll give Bob Jer the right to reply, and then we'll bring in Smurf, and then you two can carry on.
Briggs, you're absolutely right in what you're saying, but I'm sure you've heard the old age-old sentiment, the age-old statement, I should say. There's no sentiment in business. If these guys aren't making money, well, as Albert says, they could just decide to sell up. Then where do we go? Who's going to take it? You don't know. And at the moment, the fund investment in a team, and it's not working. There's so many angles you can look at Rangers now. So many angles, and we've got to find a pinnacle to it and get the thing successful again. And as you say, getting people going back into the gate like they normally do, and you only do that through results. So if this manager isn't capable of pulling out results, well, you've got to go, I'm afraid. It's the same for every manager up and down the country. Managers are getting sacked here with alarming regularity at the start of the season, and Rangers aren't any different. If the thing's not making money, well, it's got to be changed to a point where it is going to make money. But, as I say, there is no sentiment in business. If these guys want to sell up, well, they will. I just hate to see the state everything's in at the moment. We've got a God-given opportunity for to overtake this lot this year because they're murdering all. But that's their problem. No, we've got to sort out our own problems, and the quicker, the better. Okay.
Here. Well said. Smurf, see you there, pal.
Hi, evening all. So my thoughts on the topic you're talking about is that these guys have got a business plan. There's no money in Scottish football. I don't believe they've come in. Tavanir's got the lion's share of the investment. The 49ers have come in my understanding, to support them with their nous and their know-how. But although they've got a shareholding, and it's a consortium, they're very, very much the minor shareholding. Now, they're not here to make fortunes. Nobody buys Rangers to make a fortune, right? But what the value in Rangers is taking it where it was, which was as low as it could go, steadying the ship, righting the wrongs, fixing infrastructure and all that good stuff, and maximising attendance, etc. Investing in the facilities and that. And hopefully it becomes self-sustainable. And, in the future, when they do decide to sell, the guy said he's here for at least 10 years anyway, he'll get his dough back. So it's a billionaire's plaything. Now, ultimately, they've got a plan, and that plan will be executed. And Russell Martin is, by and large, an irrelevance, a distraction. He's becoming an irritating distraction. They don't want to pull the trigger, in my opinion. They don't want to jump the gun. But these aren't the idiots. They learn fast. he's gone. You forget him. He's yesterday's news. It's just that he doesn't know it yet, and the trigger's not been pulled yet. But he'll be gone. And these guys, they will absolutely get it right. There's no shadow of doubt in my mind that they will get this right. And I think you know, the good times will roll. I mean, just to come back to it, and I'm blather known here, I just wanted to make my original point was one about Albert when he said that, you know, they got this victory in Livingston and, you know, lucky and all the rest of it. And I totally agree with that. I think in spite of his efforts, just the sheer quality of player, even though there was no shape and they're badly coached or them, etc., the formations all rang, whatever, just the sheer quality of player got him out of the line. And that's because there's a gulfing difference between the quality of player Livingston have got and we've got, and that's just a poor indictment on Russell Martin. I mean, really, it was clueless at the end. He was saying just throwing anybody on, loads of forwards up front. And my dad said it to me again for a second time. He says it ended up looking like it was 1960s football when you had 5 forwards and all that, you know. It was just mental. So even in victory, he looks incompetent. He makes himself look incompetent.
Albert, already this, thanks for that, Smurf, but already this season we've seen other clubs around Europe where it's no started the season well. Fenerbahce sacked Mourinho, Ten Hag was sacked by Leverkusen, and just before the weekend there, Graham Potter was sacked by West Ham. Yeah. Why is our manager still in situ after the start of the season we've had?
It's anybody's guess, but I think he takes Smurf's point on. I think he takes his whole point on, or points he was making there. He has an irrelevance, mate. We're making it more important than it actually is. He's gone, mate. It's just when he is gone. So now we're arguing about when he should go. He should be going to now. He should go on yesterday. He should be there. So it's an irrelevance, mate. Just we need to go on with the season, and he'll just disappear. He'll just like an Alka-Seltzer, mate. He'll dissolve. He'll disappear. Sorry.
The team's not very effervescent, though, is it?
Can maybe the support help the team then, and just forget the manager, and get behind the team? We don't need to like the manager to support the team, and I think we're affecting the performance of the team. And if you look at their results just across the city, I think their dispute with their board is affecting the team. In essence, the two of us are handing hearts this league. See, if our support go behind the team and we did go in that winning run, it doesn't matter who our manager is. For me, anyway. Rich?
Well, what can I say? I think Murph said quite a lot there, to be honest. Agreed with it. It comes down to how I can only talk from being a Rangers fan. I don't want to see our team getting booed off the park. I don't want to see the manager getting shouted to GTF. I don't want that. But what I want is the same type of thought process that our fans have got towards the team. We want the board to think the same things towards the team. If there's something wrong, we're not winning games. Why is that? We're asking the question, and we're all, for God's sake, we're millions all over the world. We're all asking the same question. What on earth's going on? Why is this? Not as probably, and I mean this in all honesty, it's probably down to the manager. So we need to, is it anybody else? Is it all three of them above him? Then it's possible as well. And I just believe it is. But they need to start looking at it themselves. And I'm talking about the high agents, the ones that own the club. They need to start looking at this because they surely need a happy support. They need a good team. They need this. They're not daft. They're not daft. They're businessmen, and they need things to be happy. We don't want to get to these points where you're going to jump off a cliff and all that nonsense. I'm talking about the club. No, we don't want that. We want the club to be a business, to be running and making money. But I'm afraid that we're getting to the point now we're not going to be making much money come next season, because this season will be burnout and we won't get back into Europe in any position the way we're going. So we need to improve rapidly. We need to improve. I don't know whether this manager's able to do it and the executives and the club are able to do it either. So it's down to them. It's nobody else. There's only them. The fans can't do it other than go to the games. And a lot of them are not going, but a lot of them are. Still lots going. And the people that own it need to come out and say what they're going to do and what they're going to do to help us, help the club. They're the people that own the club. And if they don't care about the club, then we've got no chance. But we need them to be honest and don't stand there and say, oh, well, we'll let that run for another couple of months or so. No, it's not good enough. It's unfair.
Bob, Ger, it takes a big man to admit that they've made a mistake. If Andrew Tavanir does make the calls and say Patrick Stewart out, Thelwell out, Russell Martin out, Frank Lampard, Davy Weir, Graham Souness in situ as an advisor, you think your support will be happy with that?
Well, I wouldn't care about that. That's going back though. Souness, Weir, Lampard. He's not exactly got a great proven record as a manager either, is he?
Have you seen Coventry? Bob,
well, I know they won on Friday night. I know they won on Friday night. They won 3-0 on Friday night, I believe.
They're sitting second in the championship.
Oh, well, that's no mean feat, because Middlesbrough apparently have run away with it. But apart from that, it's like this, guys. Every businessman wants his business to be a going concern. They've got to turn it around to be a going concern, making money. At the moment, Rangers are me. And it's up to this man for to turn around and say, right, and make decisions with it the way he thinks. We all know that. It's simple. Well, is it simple? I don't know. But too many... Here's something laboratory. I was doing in London recently, talking to a guy who was a Manchester United season ticket holder, and he reading to the same handbook as me. Too many bad appointments, too many bad player appointments, managerial appointments. We've got to get out of that cycle and get back to being Rangers again. Oh, I don't believe we'll no make it to Europe. I think we will. And, you know, a couple of results, and we could be up there challenging for that league again. It's just getting it gone. Getting it gone, and the supporters will come back. You don't know that. It's no good at the moment, but football's got a habit of changing very, very quickly. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Sack the manager and all this carry on. We've all been round in so many circles recently, and it's got to come to an end to make the club semi-successful, well, totally successful. We are Rangers. And this is the Scottish League. We shouldn't be where we are. So we'll just have to wait to see what comes in the coming weeks. But I do believe the manager is hanging there with his fingernails. And if they appoint another manager, well, who it might be, I don't know. You hear all these names going around, Sean Dyke and all that. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions, boys. A lot of difficult questions. What do you think?
Aye, thanks for that. Smurf, when you go. Then Albert.
Oh, yes. I think, you know, as to why he's not been sacked, it's going to be difficult to sack him when you've got your chief exec and you've got Thelwell there, and the two of them's put 7 rounds of interviews and presentations and PowerPoints and whatever nonsense he's done, right? He said it was the most rigorous process they've ever been involved with in appointing a football manager and all the rest of it. The guy's a clown. That's what it boils down to. So you can't say you were that rigorous and done that much due diligence on a guy who is, I mean, it's not even just bad, it's comedy bad. It's hilarious. We are where we are on merit in the league. We get gubbed 9-1. Our 2 legs in Europe against Bruges, and it flattered us. Let me tell you, they can't sack him without going they've no credibility. If they don't sack him, they've no credibility. And if they do sack him, they've no credibility. He made such a fanfare about the process and how rigorous it was when they appointed him. So there's your answer as far as I'm concerned.
Albert, just briefly before we wrap up. Sorry, when you go, Pat.
Why did it take 7 interviews? I mean, what were they asking him? I mean, after one interview, you go, right, okay, thanks for that. Okay, if they might have a round 2, if there's maybe 4 or 5 candidates, you might have a round 2. But why 7? I mean, what is he saying to them? What are they asking him, and what is he saying to them?
It's a beauty, Albert.
It's nonsense, isn't it? You go, oh, come on. Football's not a complicated game, guys. These guys are trying to make it complicated, but it isn't a complicated game. And it's been about for about 150, 200 years or whatever it's been about. And you're sitting going, look at it for the time it started to the present time. It's the same thing. You need to start with a defence if you're building a team. Simple. It's as simple as that, mate. 1-2 is 150 years ago. Worked. You did 1-2 with somebody 150 years ago. What's 1-2? What's today as well? A through ball is a through ball. It's madness, mate. So what are you interviewing on? Aye, a ball is still a ball, a pitch is still a pitch, a goal is still a goal. But then all of a sudden they've invented all these new terminology for the same thing. It's utter garbage, mate. It's total utter garbage. And then you just look at these interviews, 7 interviews to appoint a football manager. For Christ's sake, man, what's going on here? They asked him if he could cook and all that. What's he talking about? They're talking about 7 interviews. Mental. And many candidates. Nobody's ever come up with that one. How many candidates were in for the Rangers job? Was he the only candidate? That's how it was 7 interviews. Because if you're doing, there's 5 candidates, 10 candidates. That's 70 interviews then. We're doing 70 interviews for 10 candidates. There wasn't any other candidates. It was just him. It was just filling in time saying, oh, we're going to appoint him, but let's draw this out and make it look very professional. 7 interviews, nonsense. I've never heard so much nonsense in all my life, mate. Anyway, that's the proof's in the pudding, mate. Look at the football. We're playing a look well.
Anyway, that was an interesting show. Thanks for joining us, Bob Ger. Your final thoughts?
Well, again, we all know it's obvious that the support doesn't want this guy, and I don't think the squad wants him either. I just don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not going to get into circles again about it. I just hope it all sorts of sell out. So thanks for having me tonight, guys. Some really good points there. And you're right about the football, Albert. You're right about it, handing bits of paper and talking terminology. Utter nonsense. Right, I'll sign off, get the dugout for a pee.
Thanks, Bob Ger. Smurf, again, thanks for your input into the show there. So basically, Russell Martin's dead man walking.
He's fish and chip paper. Yesterday's fish and chip paper. It's just a matter of time. And I suppose it's difficult to do a show when you're talking about a dead man walking every day. It can't be hard for you, easy for you boys. But that's where we're at. As I say, the only person that doesn't know is him and the 2 balloons that interviewed him. Anyway, good night, gentlemen. And no surrender. Should be easy.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for that, Smurf. Albert, thanks again for your input tonight. Final thoughts?
I enjoyed being on yourself and Bridgeman, boys in the background. It's interesting. You never know where this show takes you. It takes you all over the place, mate. But it was pretty interesting. Enjoyed the callers, Bob, Ger, Smurf, Christopher. Excellent.
Good man. And the legend that is the Bridgeman. Thanks for your input tonight, Bridge.
Okay, brilliant show. Bear, thanks very much for looking after me. What can I say? I thought it was a fabulous show tonight, absolutely brilliant. And I'm sorry I go on and on and on, but I do feel, as a fan, a bit dodgy about our Rangers. I feel that way anyway. So I'm going to just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, biggest game of the season coming up midweek. Biggest game of the season. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers need us, and so do they.
Right, brilliant. Can also thank our callers there for joining us. Old Bear's already done that. But Christopher, Bob Jert and Smurf, thanks a lot for your input, guys. Also thank the techie team in the background there. Fox and Old School Blue. And obviously the legend, the bridge man, the legend Albert. I've been AK. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Foxy, bye.